Hello and welcome to the Corner Flag. Arsenal have their hands on a trophy at last because second place is also a trophy, right? Right? That's what they all say, right? This is episode 214. Welcome to the Corner Flag. Joining me in the studio today is everybody's favorite Everton fan, Aakarsh Chandan, and not even his mom's favorite Liverpool fan, Mukesh Manjunath. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Who's your mom's favorite Liverpool fan?
Steven Gerrard. She also.
I can't imagine Mrs. Manjunath at home in Hyderabad wearing a Stevie G jersey and shouting at you for not cleaning your room.
And also telling me you don't get Liverpool the way I do. I'm a real fan. You're
I've seen the days of Shankly, man. What have you seen, Brendan Rodgers?
You're
noob?
just a glory hunter. That's how me and my mom talk.
Yeah, I think we should get your mom on the podcast as a genuine Liverpool voice.
Yeah, she would have a lot to say. She'd be like, clean this room, clean the audio. Everybody shut up. Get out of this room.
Yeah. How's it going for you, Akash? Everton seem to be out of the relegation zone for now.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. That stat keeps doing the rounds. No, Arsenal has been on top of the Premier League for 200. It doesn't matter. It only matters towards the end. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yes. We shall begin with Arsenal because they've had a spectacularly bad run of form over the last few days, and it just went on with this defeat to Brighton. They were playing Brighton at home at the Emirates, and Brighton just needed a point to prove.
They've only taken 9 points out of their last 21. That's just too bad. Yeah,
That is very bad. That is not title-winning form at all.
yeah. Keeping in mind the form that they were in, the way they were going, to pick up 9 from a possible 21 is shambolic.
As a Liverpool fan, I can tell you with experience, and twice the experience, that you can't be picking up such few points from your final few games. And because Guardiola is playing with 2 first teams. I think he has enough squad depth for 2 first teams. So yeah, this is ridiculous. It might have worked out in that Wenger era, in Wenger, Ferguson, Mourinho era, but now it's just too little and it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Gary Neville actually had said this earlier on in the season where he said he did not think Arsenal had it in them to stay on course to win the Premier League this season, and he was trolled heavily by the Arsenal fans for that. But guess who's right at the end of it?
But I mean, I think to be fair, you don't have to be Gary Neville to figure that out. I think we've always been saying that when it comes to the business end of the season, Arsenal will not have the mettle that you need to have to be title challengers.
Yeah.
And it feels like, I don't even think Gary Neville's actually that great a pundit. Even CBS Sports Golazo doesn't want him. They have Micah Richards instead. So Gary Neville's not really an expert, but anyone could have seen it coming, and I feel like the injuries to Saliba and Zinchenko and Martinelli have clearly not helped.
Brighton, though, we have to talk about Brighton because they are such a great team to watch, man.
Clearly beating Brighton's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's not for my team. It's not for. I mean, has Liverpool beaten Brighton?
I think we've beaten them.
No, Brighton have beaten. Brighton are this season's Robin Hood. They have taken teams points from the rich and given them to Everton, to Nottingham Forest. They are like Dayalu as fuck. I love them.
It's really, really good to see them play, and it almost feels like Chelsea did Brighton a favor by taking Graham Potter away from them, because he was doing well with Brighton, but De Zerbi has just kind of taken it up a notch. Ek level zyada gaya hai wo, which I don't know if Potter would have been able to. I mean, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but it just seems like Chelsea taking Potter away from them at the time seemed like, what the fuck, they're stopping our progress. But it actually has, I feel, turned out to be one of the best things.
I actually feel like Brighton are playing more like a Champions League team than most of the Champions League teams.
That's true.
I feel like if they, you don't ever look at them and feel like anyone's a bad player in particular. There's no weak spot.
Yeah.
They're playing really good. It might even come, like, had it been a 60-game season, they might just have popped up, and because others would have made mistakes, and they feel so clear in their system.
Yeah, and I just want to add to your point and say that this is a team that has Danny Welbeck in it, so that's like that's a big deal, right? But like even in this game at the Emirates, it's not like they weren't making mistakes. Like there were a lot of passes that went astray, and that could have led to like goal scoring opportunities or actual goals from Arsenal. But at no point did the Brighton players look like they were going to panic about the mistake that they've made. It almost felt like the mistake was a part of the game plan.
I think it's also because the game was very short stop, start, stop, especially the first 30, 45 minutes. I think Brighton kind of knew that the longer they make it a draw, the more pressure Arsenal feels, and that helps them make more mistakes.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of game in the first half really suited Brighton.
Yeah.
Because they were clearly the calmer side. I think they're aware that last game's result was a freak result. No insult to Aakarsh or
it was a freak result for sure. I freaked out when I saw that score.
Yeah. And Arsenal were clearly panicking. It's a young side.
Yeah.
Even the captain is about 12 years old or something.
Yeah.
He's 12 years old, 12 kilos.
I think he's been 12 for all his life.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, he join Real Madrid at age 15.
Exactly.
And he's never grown.
He's never grown up.
And then since then he's done Arsenal, then Madrid, then like hasn't he swapped?
No, he went to Arsenal. No, he never went to Arsenal until now. He was at Madrid, then he went to, I think, Real Sociedad on loan. Then he went back to Madrid, then went to Madrid B side for loan. Then came back to Madrid, played, I think, one season, then was sent to Arsenal on loan, and then Arsenal made it permanent.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it was clearly a game in which Arsenal were panicking.
Yeah.
And I think that showed. And I think it was one of those games where if Arsenal scored one goal, they would have scored 5 goals.
Yeah.
But the minute Brighton scored one goal, they panicked, they were deflated.
Yeah.
And I think 54th minute is roughly about when Brighton scored. And it was the first half, the start-stop method was perfect for Brighton.
Yeah.
Arsenal could never really get in the game. They like to play very fluid football.
Yeah.
And good. I think Robert De Zerbi is so impressive. And I think he knew deliberately what he was doing when the ball was just going out.
Yeah.
His players were kicking out. They were okay with the throw-ins.
Is he the new Mourinho? De Zerbi? Because he did the touchline run after the second goal, I think.
I think he's a lot cooler, yeah. I think
Hey,
he's a lot cooler.
But
I never like, and I think we were speaking about this a couple of days ago. I have never been able to stand Mourinho.
Really?
Maybe until, yeah.
I mean, वो हरामी है पर वो मस्त हरामी है. Like especially when he plays, I mean, not plays, when he's managing your team, no, he's the harami you want to have on your side.
Can I tell you something? I feel like Aakarsh watches football. Like we watch football, how we think it's like a story. We're invested in the characters. It's like another TV series. Aakarsh watches it like he's invested money in them. Like he's so passionately taken aback by everything that happens. No, he's not good. He's not noble. How can you not like Mourinho? He's such a lovable character.
He's lovable, though he's not.
But
he's
as a
an
character,
annoying
he's
fucking
so
character. I'm sure
lovable.
I would love him as my manager.
Yeah.
He's one of those things, we've spoken about players where when they're on your side, you love the shithousery, but when in the opposing team, you just want to slap the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Mourinho's like that. Like
Yeah.
from his first stint at Chelsea, I was just like, oh my God, this guy is so full of himself.
Yeah.
His first interview, he said, don't call me arrogant, but I'm the special one.
I mean, to be fair, he said, I am a special one, not the special one.
That makes him much better.
And this has been widely discussed later.
See,
Like if you
there
hear
is
the
humility
interview.
because it means he's giving space for multiple special ones,
Yeah.
amongst which he's one of them, as
Yeah.
opposed to he is the only one in the category.
But his multiple ones are him at Man United, him at Chelsea, him at Chelsea the second time, him at Real Madrid.
I feel like if Mourinho was here right now, he would say, y'all are right. I did say a special one. But I had just moved to England. My English was very bad. I meant the special one. That is what I am.
Yeah, I mean, if Mourinho was here right now, we wouldn't be recording. We'd just be like,
Respect.
yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, you'd be here just for those 3 words. But what this means is that Arsenal are pretty much not going to win the title because there is now a 4-point gap between them. They do have a game in hand. Do they have a game in hand? No.
City have a game in hand.
City have a game in hand. So
They're
they need to
4
win
points
that.
behind.
So if City win that last game in hand, then they are crowned
I think
champions.
it is whatever result Arsenal get against Chelsea or whoever they're playing next. I think just City have to match that, and I don't think.
Yeah.
No, even if City just need to win. It
City just
doesn't
need to
matter
win.
what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. And it is such a cool thing. Of course, City beat your Everton 3-0. Aakarsh, and it just feels like ages since you've been here talking about Everton, which is why I put it second in the run order, not because you were playing against Man City,
Right,
but
sure.
because you're
Because of me.
here. Yeah, because you're here and this is Everton.
Thanks for making me feel second most important today.
Yeah, but do you want to talk about the 5-1
You are
victory
a
first?
special one, not the special one.
Should we talk about the 5-1 victory first? Because we didn't get to speak about that. That was
I
a
mean,
midweek
we
fixture.
spoke about it preemptively,
Yeah.
and that's when I was like, yeah, there's no chance Everton's getting anything out of Brighton away.
Right.
And I didn't watch that game until the last 5 minutes because with 5 minutes on the clock when Everton were 4-1 up, I was like, they can still fuck this up. I can still jinx this.
Yeah.
And then when there was 4 minutes remaining, I was like, chal, 4 minutes, they might not concede 3. Hopefully they won't concede 3, and they scored 1, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But great game. No chance I was expecting 3 points from there, and that might be the reason that Everton stay up.
Yeah, but of course, Everton need Liverpool to do you a solid and beat Leicester later tonight. Of course, that game is at 12:30 a.m. Tonight / tomorrow morning.
Q3-1 Leicester with Mwadi scoring a hat-trick.
Yeah, possible. It's very possible.
So Akash, what favors are you willing to do to make this thing happen? To make Liverpool beat Leicester? Because I doubt Liverpool.
Klopp, chacha, I don't know. Where's your cap?
Should we switch the cameras off? Should we switch the mics off? You guys want to do something else? We can all go out if you need some privacy or something.
Why? We don't need to switch the cameras off for that.
Ooh, kinky, I like it.
I mean, whatever gets the viewership up, man.
I mean, you're used to your team getting fucked on screen every week, so this is just like an extension of that.
Hey, we were still talking about 5-1, okay? We've now gotten to 3-0.
Now we've moved on to 3-0.
God damn it.
You didn't take enough time with 5-1, so it's your fault. But great.
It's Everton. I know not to enjoy the wins too much. It's like, move on to the losses.
बहुत toxic relationship.
Bahut. That's why I was telling you all. I'm almost upset that Everton's not going down, because I was looking forward to just that breakup. You know, It's like, it's you. It's not me. It's you. I'm done with you. Championship के लिए एक और I'll have to take one subscription. नहीं होता.
But then that makes you a fair weather fan, dude. You should support your team in the lows as well as the highs.
Highs? What are those?
17th place.
The high lows and the low lows.
There are no highs.
Yeah.
There are only lows.
Yeah. So let's talk about the 3-0. Of course.
See, lows.
Yeah. Splendid performance by Man City. Like it was like a routine performance. 2 Ilkay Gundogan goals with an Erling Haaland goal. His 52nd goal of the season across all competitions, sandwiched between the two. We should start off with Gundogan's first goal, because I think we saw something special.
You know, honestly, I feel like this game I decided to watch because I was like, we know we're going to lose, so might as well do this. For the first 35 minutes, I think Sean Dyche had a plan. I think Everton were doing a great job. They limited Haaland to 2 touches in the first 35 minutes.
Wait. Do you think that's because Everton limited Haaland to 2 touches, or do you think because that's his game? Like he anyway takes like 5 touches in a game.
I feel like Everton did a very good job. Everton let City have about 80% of the possession, just sat back, which was a very scary thing to do, but they were doing it really, really well. Right up until, like you said, Ilkay Gundogan pulled a rabbit out of his hat. That was just magical. Like, he jumped, and then in mid-air, he corrected his body positioning to get a first touch off his hip.
Yeah.
And then scored the goal while the goal was at the back.
Yeah.
Like, it was just incredible. I think it was Ian Wright who was on pundit duties who called it Dennis Bergkamp-esque. And it was that because what an incredible first touch. And then after that, it was collapse.
Yeah, there's no way that Everton goes on an attack against Man City and then doesn't come back losing. They can play defensive and probably could have gotten a result, but there's no way. Once that first goal went in, Everton, Sean Dyche, the collective mind of Liverpool present. Nobody could have come up with one singular plan that would have made Everton come back.
No, and in fact, Sean Dyche pretty much said that. So, jumping a little bit ahead, but basically at halftime, Everton were already 3-0 down. Very quickly went 3-0 down. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin was taken off at halftime. And Sean Dyche spoke about it later and said that he felt tightness in the groin, and a tight groin would lead to an injured groin. So we wanted to make sure that he's fit for the next 2 games. It was an easy decision because it was 3-0. If it was 0-0, it wouldn't have been that easy. But so at 3-0, he was just like, let's take Calvert-Lewin off. Anyways, he's made of glass. We've lost this game now. Just make sure you don't lose by a bigger margin.
Yeah. Should we talk about Jordan Pickford though? Because Jordan Pickford's lack of saves in this game, but the non-lack of acrobatic jumping across his goal line was hilarious to see.
You jump and look graceful while doing it.
Wait,
jump for a Haaland header and look graceful while doing it.
Usually when you dive, you cover some distance.
Yeah.
Right? You go left and you cover 2 meters. Jordan Pickford is the one who's dived but stayed in the same spot. He just pulled left and right in the same exact amount and he stayed exactly in the same spot.
You know,
that was a fantastic guy.
He's like any Indian politician who'll want to make it seem like he's doing a lot of work but is doing sweet fuck all.
Yeah.
Like it is basically that. Like he will be extra acrobatic in his jumps, but actually kuch effort nahi hai.
There's no effort. I'm like, how do you dive and still be in the same exact spot? That's
very mean, guys. You're just punching down, yeah. Like, it's easy to make fun of people who are in 18th, 19th space. It's just very mean. I will not say a word against Pickford. He's the only reason Everton still have a chance of staying up.
You're actually very right. Like, both Mukesh and I are pretty much like one of the central defenders in Everton's backline. We're very meaner.
Right.
Oh, wow, man.
Right.
That was so good.
Sorry, what was that? Oh, we've just been cancelled. The producers are like, y'all are terrible. Leave right now. That's the end of the episode.
Oh my God, this is when United are having a good season. Imagine Amogh when like they have a... You know what? I actually really respect Aakarsh after that joke. He's been composed and devoid of bad jokes.
I can't believe I've done this for more than 200 episodes. I can't believe after 200 episodes, Idea Brew decided to pick us up. Like, guys, don't you all do research? Like, this is the kind of shit that our in-house comedians say.
No, but this basically, they don't listen to the show. They don't listen to the show. I'm sure they don't listen to the show.
Right now, they have another podcast on their ears.
Yeah.
They're listening to the
we're listening
recorded.
to you guys. Yeah. Gain bada uska. Volume thoda clip ho raha hai.
They're like, this is welcome to Seen Unseen.
He's talking about Jordan Pickford. Roy Keane had something to say about it. If you think we are very mean, Roy Keane was a little extra mean.
He was Keena.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Roy Keane.
There's two of you now.
Roy Keane was extra keen.
Can I get relegated from this podcast? Guys, is there another podcast that I can get relegated
Roy
to?
Keane was more mean or Moise Keane. It can just go on and on.
We can listen to Seen Unseen and End Scene.
Guys, if Mike Dean was here, he wouldn't get sent off.
Oh, yes. He said that Jordan Pickford is not a top goalkeeper and he looks small. Like, that's just, that is really mean.
Roy Keane is not a top pundit and he looks like shit.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah, he's
wow.
definitely listening to this. So, well done.
Shit, he's gonna come and beat me up. I'm fucked, guys. Shit.
Yeah. Roy Keane is the guy who looks aggressive with or without a beard. Like, both his looks are equally intimidating and fear-inducing. You have no idea what you've signed up for.
Yeah.
His baby face is also his old face.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The filter just doesn't work on him.
But it's a really, it's a bit of a low blow, I think, from Roy Keane to be like, he's not a top goalkeeper and he's small. Like, I will take apart your goalkeeping skills and also body shame you.
Yeah, make fun of the
It's
physical.
like, at the end of that sentence, he just went, Butler.
Yeah,
It was just a butler.
Yeah, exactly. But do you think he's still fit enough to be England number one though?
He's fit enough to be England number one. Aaron Ramsey. Guys, Jordan Pickford is a great goalkeeper. If he was in any top 5, top 6 team, we wouldn't have this discussion.
Just how he said top
Everton's
6 is
shit.
toxic. It's like, wow, what a bad relationship he's in.
Terrible. But no, I think Pickford is genuinely the only reason that Everton right now stand a chance of staying up.
No, but that doesn't say much about Pickford. It just says more about Everton. No, but I do agree that Jordan Pickford is a great keeper.
You take Jordan Pickford over Ramsdale and Pope.
Oh yeah, if I was thinking for
Pope maybe. Ramsdale also?
Yeah. Ramsdale he'll be rooted, but it'll feel like he's dived 7 meters. So I think he's the opposite problem. But I would pick Pickford over. Because I think Pickford seems a little calmer.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
Also,
because
guys-
he's so used to defeat. It doesn't faze him anymore. He's like, wow. In fact, I would worry if I was winning.
Yeah.
If it's 3-0 up, then I'm like, this guy's going to do something stupid. So let's swap him for Ramsdale.
He has the most number of clean sheets for England. He has the record for the most consecutive clean sheets for England. While Everton...
But that's because Harry Maguire is in front of him, dude.
That's in spite of Harry Maguire being in front of him. So I feel like while at Everton, because Everton's so shit, everyone looks shit, but he's been phenomenal for England. I don't think you can get to a semi-final and a final of a major tournament without a solid keeper at the back. And I think Pickford's been amazing for them. And it's stupid that this is a discussion.
I mean, just on his diving across the goal line in the Man City defeat, there was a tweet I read. I forget which user it was, but he tweeted a picture of one of his outrageous dives, just flapping about basically with the ball nowhere near him. And the caption was, "This looks like a football film made by somebody who has no idea what football is." And they're getting their actor to act like a goalkeeper, which I thought was so spot on.
When you dive with blue steel. What on your face? What, like, with some like?
I don't dive. We play five-a-side. The goal is so small. I don't need to dive.
But when he makes that film, Mumbai to Manchester,
Yes.
the final shot will have a goalkeeper diving like that.
Yes.
With pouts.
Produced by Corner Flag.
Yeah, just like giving the best angle to the camera as he dives. That would be great. Speaking of Yerry Mina, though, Guardiola had a little bit of an issue with Yerry Mina because he was seen shouting at Yerry Mina, scolding him almost. And he was asked about it in the post-match press conference, and he said, it's not necessary what he does. He does it all the time. I told him, you're a good enough player. You don't need to do this. When asked what this was, he said, why don't you ask him?
With Guardiola being a saint, fucking everyone, Grealish also does. This is shithousery at its best.
Yeah.
He got the 3 points. Now let Mira get some like chimty, took off Haaland. It's fine. That's the only thing he got to take home.
Yeah.
I pinched Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
He's real. It's
most,
not steel.
Most people would swap his jersey, but this guy's gotten DNA. Fuck, I think Yerry Mina's going to create the new Erling Haaland.
And that's the only way to beat City.
Yeah.
Is you create your own Erling Haaland for your
And
team.
oh my
Yerry
God.
Mina makes him he'll be so injury prone.
Exactly.
Yerry
Oh
Mina.
fuck! Like this, if this is the only way to beat City, it sucks that this job has been given to Everton of all the teams. Like they are going to fuck this up so massively.
No, Everton will make him and then reject him, saying no, he's not good enough.
He's not good enough. Yes. Let's move on to Man United. Man United finally got 3 points on the board after 2 back-to-back 1-0 defeats against Brighton and West Ham. They beat Wolves 2-0, which makes David De Gea the official winner of the Golden Glove this season. Do we want to talk about if he needs to stay at Man United again next season?
I think we've discussed this somewhat
we've discussed
last week, also
Last year
probably.
also, 2 years ago also. It's been an ongoing discussion.
I think if United are going to change their game plan, which involves a more attack-minded keeper, they have to get rid of him. But if United are going to play the same system, which might not be good enough against teams like Newcastle, Man City, a renewed Arteta, and hopefully a renewed Liverpool, they'll probably continue like where they'll be in a situation where Champions League is their best.
Yeah. It was a great game because Anthony Martial scored a goal, which was the easiest goal he would ever score, which is probably, I feel like nowadays, the only type of goals he scores because he's so fucking lazy otherwise. But obviously the cherry on the cake was Alejandro Garnacho making a comeback to the playing side after 2 months off with an ankle injury, and immediately getting on the score sheet. And this is at a time when Dan Bentley was making his debut for Wolves, was having a blinder of a game. He was making some great saves.
Right.
He was diving and actually connecting with the ball and not staying rooted to his spot. Aakarsh, if you wanted to know what good goalkeeping is like, Dan Bentley for England #1. But Garnacho comes on and he completely just changed the game because he was hardly on for any time, and he got the goal. Lots of excitement as soon as he came on. Like the crowd really loves him.
Do you think he's going to be the next not superstar player who represents Man United, like Rashford?
Definitely, I think he can be the next Rashford for sure.
Because I also felt like when he celebrated, he had that main character energy goal.
Yeah.
Like, the way he took off his jersey, the way the crowd responded, that there's a certain, like, as if someone took the lid of a champagne bottle, like that top.
Yeah.
Like that happened in the stadium. Yeah. Everybody was like celebrating with him.
Yeah.
He also had that full main character when he took off his jersey.
Yeah.
Showed
a nice chest tattoo with the sleeves and all. Like it was.
Okay. I was just watching the celebration.
Basically 2 हफ्ता जब he injured था, तभी काफी tattoo work हो गया उसका. मतलब, like, he had nothing else to do. He got some work done.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's only 18.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's way older. Like his attitude, his aggression, the way he plays.
And the way he plays especially looks like he's been playing in the Premier League for a while.
Yeah.
I felt like, this is the guy who teams will be planning against. Like, sort of, nowadays teams have plans against Bruno Fernandes and like they have plans against Rashford. And then they hope Harry Maguire has a plan for them. But this looks like a player who teams will be planning against. I think that's good news for United, I think, have made a couple of bad signings and calls.
Yeah, lots of bad signings have been made. More than a couple, I would say. But this victory does make the top 4 race quite interesting because now...
Oh, really? To me, I feel like it's done. Like, I think United have to lose 4 points in the next 3 games. Newcastle, because of the goal difference, have to lose 5 points for Liverpool to have to Liverpool have an edge over them.
See, the thing is, there's still a chance, and as the old saying goes, it's not over till the fat lady sings. So till the point that Harry Maguire gets a sex change and starts singing, it's not over. But I feel like anything can happen, and with the way United's form has been going,
both of us are trying to jinx the crap out of this.
Yeah.
I
think Liverpool will make it.
United.
I think Liverpool will make it. No, I feel like we need 4 points in the last 3 games. That's what we need basically.
No. You need 5 points.
5 points. Depending on how tonight's result also goes.
Right.
So yeah, it is a little tricky. The thing is,
but you've got easy fixtures. Yeah, you've got Bournemouth and you've got Chelsea and Fulham. So that
Fulham is the toughest.
Fulham is the toughest. Yes. But yeah, it does help that Newcastle also dropped points. They drew 2-2 against Leeds. Big Sam is working his fucking magic, guys.
Big Sam is working some magic. He knows how to play the
1 point he got.
That's amazing for a Leeds to take against a Newcastle who are worth billions now, and then Newcastle are no more an underdog team or even a mid-table team.
Yeah.
And
but hasn't he got 1 point out of the last 3 games now?
Yeah, so his first game against Man City, which he lost.
Oh, just 2 games.
And this is the second game, which is 1 point.
Right.
And both clearly in the top 4.
Yeah.
One is champions, one is next season's title contenders. So I think it's great to get even 1 point. And to rattle Eddie Howe, it's a big favorite in Liverpool's side.
And the thing is, to think Leeds could have gotten 3 points if Bamford hadn't missed that penalty.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that Bamford took the penalty because I feel like Bamford has been the kind of striker who's been so out of favor, unlucky with injuries, unlucky with the change of management around him, that he's completely lost his form. Like, I remember when Leeds first came into the Premier League and Bamford burst onto the scene, everyone was like, fuck, this guy is like next level.
Bamford. I remember that deadly headline when he scored his first hat-trick. It said hat-trick Bamford.
Yeah.
He was one of the most bought FPL assets. He was like, this is the differential that everyone had.
Exactly. But his form has fallen off a cliff. So it was a little weird to see him being given the penalty duties.
I think I can see because he's clearly lost a lot of confidence. And you can see in a way a striker is like, you can see when they're confident,
To be fair, he looks like somebody who never had confidence to begin with. Like he always looks like he's just sad.
He looks like he's been up all night. Right? Yeah. He always has that look, just like eyes are buzzing.
Yeah.
But I think this penalty was given for him to gain that confidence back. Except I think it really backfired. I'm worried that, they're going to... It's going to have other impact. They're going to get relegated. And this moment is probably going to go to play in his mind again and again because it's 2 points lost. Yeah. And it's probably wasn't the best thing to give him the penalty.
Yeah. But see, now the thing is, Big Sam has never left a club in a lower position than when he took over from the club. So all he has to do is keep them in the spot that they're in. I think 3 points more solves it for them. So if they get 1 victory somehow, somewhere, then that's a job well done for them. Do you think they can do it?
I think if anybody can, Big Sam can.
Right.
But Leeds look really out of depth.
Yeah.
They look done and dusted with the league. The players look exhausted. I feel like I feel this is a result of not just Big Sam's tactics, but the kind of football that Jesse Marsh and Marco Bielsa left them with. Like they're just exhausted.
Yeah.
Like their legs have run out of power, and there's no chance Leeds can afford things like squad depth.
Yeah.
So I think that.
Right.
I think between the two, between Leeds and Leicester, both of them have an opportunity to take 3 points away from West Ham, who are very busy with their Europa League commitments. So I think it'll come down to where West Ham do a lot of squad rotation where they play their main game, because I think that's the key game.
Yeah.
I think I see both Leeds and Leicester getting those 3 points, but still potentially going
Aakarsh is doing jinx.
Right. On that jinxy note, let's take a quick break. On the other side, we'll talk about some major changes happening at Chelsea, and we'll also talk about Southampton's relegation. See you on the other side. Welcome back to the Corner Flag, everybody, and as always, we begin the second half with some questions. Questions with the Corner Flag.
Dude, Answers also, huh?
Yes. Praga_19 asks us, Oldcastle versus New Trafford. Who'll bag a UCL spot by the end of the season?
Both.
I think Castle Trafford is the correct answer.
I think both will.
United.
United. Bhav Neat asks us, how to beat this fucking City side to a title, dude?
You don't. You submit.
You submit, you
just
surrender.
give up. Yeah.
Let's not forget, a certain Liverpool is the only team to have done it. And yeah, just follow the...
एक प्रीमियर लीग टाइटल जीता तो वेंचोत कितना घमंड है देखो
That's
यार.
a lot, considering the last 6 have gone off to 1.
तुम्हारे पास क्या है?
तेरा
नहीं, पिछले कुछ सालों में.
पिछले कुछ सालों का छोड़ दो यार. 13 तो टाइटल्स है ना. 13 compared to 1, which is the bigger number.
Correct. Noob Clicks asks us, following some football clubs, in brackets Chelsea, makes us run through wall out of frustration and anger. That's it.
I'm just gonna say I'd rather take frustration and anger than like constant clinical depression, man. You have it going good.
Welcome to the Conflict Therapy Podcast.
PRS MUFC asks us, took 4 years of Arteta's process to do what Ole did at United.
Well done, PRS MUFC. That is fucking spot on.
There is a question though. Are Arsenal overhyped?
I feel like they're not overhyped. I feel like they've been so bereft of success for so long that even the slightest change of direction in the right way hypes their fans up a lot. This is a club that has given us AFTV.
Yeah.
So the exaggerations are a part and parcel of this club. So, मतलब होना ही है.
No, but I feel like this is the best season we've seen Arsenal have in about a decade or so.
Yeah,
and I think what's happened is the fact that Liverpool have dropped off so badly. It has made Arsenal a lot more in the limelight.
Yeah.
Because there's no one else apart from City.
Yeah.
But I think it's been a great season, and I think Arteta will continue to do a good job with them, and I think next year as well we'll see them in the top 2, top 3, which with Ole it never looked like. You know, with Ole it looked like a flash in the pan. With Arteta it does look like the process has worked.
I think they're adequately hyped. I think everybody knew this. Everybody with some footballing sense who wasn't just coming on to follow the team knew that in the last 10 games Arsenal would slip up. And in a way, if Klopp's Liverpool couldn't do it twice, there's no chance that Arteta could have come with a bunch of kids and been like, I will take on this. And I think they're adequately hyped. And our last question/comment for the day is, Hola amigos, sabko salam, Raghupati Raghav, Raja Ram. I want to tell her, this is true_8. Our names are not Raghupati Raghav, Raja Ram. We are Amogh, Aakarsh and Mukesh. But hola to you two. Do you guys have anything to say?
And you thought my Yeri Mina joke was a bad one.
It was.
This is the kind of shit that he peddles, and you think my exquisitely crafted footballer pun, which was topical because it was on something that you had very recently said, quick-witted fucking joke creation, is bad. But this shit is fine with you.
इतना defending करने के बाद भी when it doesn't work ना, you're Harry Maguire.
Yes.
And those are the questions we have for today.
Right. Let's talk about Chelsea because as Noob Clicks pointed out in the question segment, the Chelsea fans need some therapy.
But do we talk about mid-table teams also now?
Yes. The top 4 and all is done now. तो मतलब
top 4 relegation and is done.
तो अभी थोड़ा mid-table को भाव देते हैं. Frank Lampard still doesn't have 3 points at Stamford Bridge. I think he can feel the hatred of the Chelsea fans every time he goes there. Fair to say?
Yeah, I feel like every time he goes there, he must feel like a Make-A-Wish Foundation child. Because like, honestly, I can't believe he got the Everton job, let alone the Chelsea job twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Did they not see him the first time round?
Yeah. I feel like he's one of those people who fails upwards, no?
Yeah, he fails upwards. And I think Lampard's plan is vibes. It's just, guys, I played for this club.
Yeah.
Vibes. We'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no plan. There's just shoot the goal.
The only-
I feel like you would see a lot of cliches. I can imagine him seeing a lot of cliches.
Yeah.
in the dressing room.
Yeah. Guys, it's all about the fun that you have on the pitch. Ye 70 minute tumse koi, like that's the why
In Hindi as well.
in Hindi as well.
But like, what would his version of, you know how we saw Arteta go with the bulb and say light, we
Yeah.
need to be light. Lampard, I'm sure, saw that. He's like, I also have to do my version of that. What would that have been?
Guys, if a goal is disallowed, don't worry. There will be multiple discussions later on about how it was actually a goal, and that's all you'll have to live with. So it's fine. Going from personal experience.
I was like, we'll prove the doubters wrong, except he'd be like, we'll prove the believers wrong. Right. He just messed
Yeah.
up that statement.
We'll prove the believers.
We'll believe the doubters.
Yeah, we'll believe the doubters. But seriously, we'll also doubt the believers.
Like, I can imagine him coming with he's saying bulb use ho gaya. I'll come with a candle and he's saying, we need to have our passion burning like this. Oh shit, I exhaled too loudly. Never mind, guys. Moving on.
Are we saying that Frank Lampard is basically Steve Carell from The Office?
Yeah.
He's Michael Scott.
He's Michael
He's
Scott.
the Michael Scott of the Premier
That's
League.
his actual name, Michael Scott.
Like, I feel like Gary Neville must be sitting somewhere going, I shouldn't have gone to Spain. I should just stuck to these like smaller English clubs. I'd have still been a manager.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause
feel
I
like-
don't think he was much worse than Lampard is.
Yeah. The thing is, the only reason Lampard gets a job is because uske contacts hai. Uska jack hai.
He's
That's
the original
only-
nepotism product. in
Yeah, I mean,
football.
he's like related to the Redknapp family, right? Like he's
Yeah.
he's
He's a
the
nephew
cousin,
of-
he's a
yeah.
cousin or nephew of I mean, he's both. He's a cousin
Cousin and-
of Jamie and a nephew of Harry.
Yeah, whereas like Gary Neville would be like, hello Man United? No? Okay, cool. Hello Man United? No? Okay, cool.
He's like, can I
Lampard
cut
has
one
3-4.
ticket for one of the games? No.
Yeah.
Got it. I'll pay for it. I'll pay
Yeah.
for it.
Gary Neville's only this thing is, listen, I'm Phil's brother. So like, can you like sort something out for me? Phil Neville, by the way, still making waves with Inter Miami. Like, well done to him for sticking to management.
Yeah.
Like, but
And
even,
he also chose a weird path. Huh? He was like, first I will coach the women,
yeah,
then I will go to the MLS.
yeah. Where he's basically managing David Beckham's team. So again, Jack.
But like, credit to him, he knows कि he's like, Premier League में से नहीं होता है. MLS, I'll go and teach them. Football, not soccer.
Yes.
And then my job's done. That's what I need.
And then play Ted Lasso for them. He's like, vibes.
Yeah. But yes,
Believe.
yeah, we were talking about Chelsea though. Chelsea drew 2-2 against Nottingham Forest. Important point for Nottingham Forest, this one. Sterling with the 2 goals for Chelsea and Taiwo Awoniyi with the 2 goals for Nottingham Forest. Raheem Sterling scoring these goals. I think these are his second and third goals for the season.
Third and fourth.
And our resident Chelsea fan and friend of the flag, Abhishek Ganti, had messaged me when we talked about Todd Bowley going into the Chelsea dressing room and singling out a star signing. Ganti told me that star signing was Raheem Sterling. So I feel like he's scored his second goal and looked to the director's box and said, "Ab aaja, bhosadi ke, ab aaja dressing room mein." But I don't think that happened.
I don't think that happened.
No, I don't think he must have said everything except the bhosadi ke.
But guys, how excited do you think that directors of football all across the Premier League are with the thought of Nottingham Forest going down? Because they bought like 25-30 players,
Yeah.
lots of interesting names.
Yeah.
That team's going to get picked apart
Completely,
if they go down.
completely picked apart. But I mean, so can Southampton, and we'll get to that in a bit because we are going to have a big debate about one particular player. But I feel like Chelsea just must be desperate to get the season finished, right? Like they literally have nothing to play for. Like I don't even think they have pride to play for. Like that boat has also sailed long back. Abhi kuch hai nahi. Like right now, wins, draws, losses, they all just feel the same. If you're a Chelsea fan, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea fans who are listening to this, do the results, any different result, feel different, or do they all feel as devastating as the other?
You think they might just have preferred a relegation battle just to give them something?
Yeah, something
Make
to fight for.
Like not be dead in the eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have Frank Lampard coaching them. They have these run of results. They're comfortably mid-table with no chance of going up or down.
I think for them, the aim is top half. Like, that's the excitement. Top half, bottom half. That's because that 10th, 11th is what's been happening.
It's like, let our rank not be at double digits.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's fair to say that Chelsea have found goals very hard to come by this season. And a lot has been said about the lack of a proper number 9 in that squad. A lot has been said about Romelu Lukaku coming back to Chelsea next season. Are they going to use him or not? But if recent rumors are to be believed, apparently the Chelsea scouts went to see Victor Osimhen as he featured for Napoli against Monza in the Serie A. Of course, Napoli already Serie A champions. Monza defeated Napoli in this game, and the Chelsea scouts were left unimpressed by Victor Osimhen and have probably decided to step away from the race.
I think he's smart. He knows when to turn up, and it's also important to show when to not turn up. He's like, he knows a blue flag when he sees one.
Yeah, absolutely. But the good thing is Mauricio Pochettino is going to be the manager next season. So that seems like a good thing for Chelsea fans.
I was just going to be like, I'm a little worried about that because I feel like it's a recreation of what his situation was at PSG in terms of a lot of players, a lot of star players, a lot of big egos. Without the ease to flush out, like Man City flushes out even their biggest superstars if they want to, but PSG couldn't, and I feel like Chelsea also might struggle with that.
The PSG egos were far bigger.
No, of course, but it's not a replica situation, but it is a similar situation.
I feel like it's a situation that Poch can deal with.
Yeah, I think it's a situation that he will probably deal with, and I was waiting for you to bring Poch up when you were talking about the number 9, because I feel like with Poch coming in, I think Harry Kane's going to be their number 9 because Kane's been wanting to leave for a while. We've discussed for really long that which club will take Kane, and City were the one and Haaland came in. I think Chelsea would be a great spot for him to go to.
Not United?
No, I think the Pochettino connection, if United were in the mix, I think the Pochettino connection will tip the scales in Chelsea's favour. And I think that would be a great move for them. In fact, I could even see a swap-ish situation happening for Kane and Lukaku. Because Lukaku at Tottenham could be interesting.
Yeah.
I honestly feel the only thing going for Poch is that it can't get worse than this.
Yeah.
Like it can't get like he can't. He's good enough to not make them finish 12th again.
Yeah.
So they're obviously gonna move upwards, and for him, because he still has something to prove in the Premier League. He's Premier League's currently almost their manager. Like he was on the verge of glory and then he fell short at every level. So I think maybe he can give them a cup or two, like in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. Maybe those are something he can target. Premier League, obviously, I think the mean will return in Chelsea's favor. They will go up a little bit. So I think in a way, it's a good landing pad for him. But in terms of, I don't know how, because even at PSG, it didn't seem like he was trying to apply any plan. I don't know what tactics he now has, because the Premier League football of, say, I think 18-19 when Liverpool won the Champions League, the tactics are much more different now. The number 9s are back. He's not the only one who can play with the number 9. Fucking Pep Guardiola is playing with a striker. Liverpool playing with a striker. So I'm curious to see which tactics he has. But even back then, he never seemed like a manager who had any different tactics. So that's why I'm not too sure about this, but I guess it's the best they can get right now.
But I agree with you. His tactics towards the end at PSG had started looking shaky, but I think he himself had started looking jaded. I think he had a long time with Espanyol and then Tottenham, and then PSG wasn't an easy job with the pressure and with the egos that are in the dressing room. He's now been out of a job for at least a season and a half, which for Pochettino it's unlike him, but I'm sure he's reinvented himself. I'm sure he's rejuvenated and is itching to get back, and I think Chelsea could be an interesting project because Potter wasn't a big enough ego for a club like Chelsea, but Pochettino with his Champions League semis, with his resume, could handle the pressure and could keep Todd Bowley at bay.
Yeah, and just to go back to your want of a Harry Kane, Romelu Lukaku swap, do you think Spurs really want two misfiring strikers in their team with Lukaku and Richarlison?
I genuinely feel like if they can just get Richarlison to play on the wing and put Lukaku in the middle, that could really work. I think that would be a great... And they have another option with Son and with Kulusevski to make that attacking trio. But Lukaku in the centre of Tottenham, where it's not as high stakes as Chelsea, could be interesting. I still think Lukaku is a good striker and has potential.
Right. I think a move to Spurs would definitely complete Lukaku's England adventure. He played for all possible teams that he can play for without pissing people off in England, which is great. Like, he's played for Everton but not for Liverpool. He's played for Man United but not for Man City. He could play for Spurs but not for Arsenal.
But has played for
But has
Chelsea.
played
So
for
it's like
Chelsea.
London is too many clubs.
Yeah.
No, I can't be
He's
so
covered all the three
monogamous
big
within
cities.
London.
Yeah. He's covered all three big cities.
Beach mein West Brom also, Birmingham also he's done. So
Yeah.
he's like that entire UK tour of his could get completed. Right. We should talk about Southampton because they're the first team to officially be relegated from the Premier League. Surprise, surprise. Let's just get straight to it. It was a shitty season, but where do you see the players going now?
But players going
Yeah,
down?
because they're going to be rated.
They're going to be rated. I mean, I don't think they have any superstar team material
Except
players.
for James Ward-Prowse, I can't think of a single big
Every
name.
Romeo Lavia.
Romeo Lavia, but I think they'll go for slightly middle-aged teams.
Lavia is good. Bella Kochap is good. Bazunu in goal is decent.
Bazunu might go to a like
Lower league, lower
like
table
Crystal
side.
Palace type team.
Yeah.
Even Lavia, maybe an Arsenal or someone might come.
Lavia, I think, has a buyback clause with Man City, but I don't think they want to do
Yeah,
that.
so I mean, but if he goes to Man City, then he's just chilling for 1 year.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gap year.
Gap year, he gets a gap year. But something maybe like an Arsenal, Newcastle might go for him, and if he's ambitious and he wants to play more first team football, he'll
Yeah.
probably do that.
But what about Ward-Prowse? Because we've had this disagreement in the past. I feel like I don't rate Ward-Prowse at all.
I don't rate him as an exceptional player, but I feel like he's somebody who can give you if a team if a Premier League team in the top 10 plays about 50 games a year, he can give you 20 games that are very good.
Okay. I want to know Aakarsh's thoughts on this because I don't rate Ward-Prowse because I feel he's a one-trick pony with his free kicks. He's exceptionally good at free kicks, but that's all he does. Everywhere else, he's mediocre at best. Mukesh thinks that because he's so fit and he's injury-free largely for the season, he can play all the games, literally 90 minutes of every game. That makes him a valuable asset. But do you think, what do you think about Ward-Prowse?
Let me just say, I feel like he's a valid replacement for the likes of Henderson and Milner, in that the current versions of Henderson and Milner, the last two seasons especially, where you come on for about 20 games, half the games, you sort of finish the game out, do the dirty things like you'll sit on the ball when you need to win the game out, kick the ball out when you have to, give a little bit of fire when you're playing with the younger players in the cups in the early stages. Rest. He's the player who gives the bigger players a little rest. That's it. And especially with Liverpool, where the midfield is so injury prone, he's that sort of a player who'll fill in that one gap.
Honestly, I don't think he's good enough for a Liverpool or a United. I don't think he's top 5, top 6 material. But I think he could do a job from like off the top 5, 6. I'd say maybe Spurs, but I wouldn't mind seeing him at say Aston Villa under Unai Emery because he has great free kicks. I think he has good vision. He has a great long pass. I think he doesn't have the team around him at Southampton, which makes him look not as exciting. But I think he could do a job at like a lower top half team. I don't see Liverpool or United, Chelsea, Arsenal, any of these teams going for him. Villa, maybe. Brighton, not so much. But these West Ham could be interesting.
Yeah.
West Ham are currently 16th, so I don't think that's...
But they have one foot into the Europa League finals, which West Ham are having that season of ignore the Premier League, we might get a European trophy. I get that, it's fine. But Liverpool, I don't think so.
I think the great squad player, just have him make him play all the shitty game, make him travel to these third tier, fourth tier towns, play
basically Liverpool's Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, play shitty games. Coach the young players, teach them how to play free kicks, keep the bigger players from getting injury prone, being like,
you're really not selling the Liverpool project to James Ward-Prowse.
James Ward-Prowse is like,
मैं championship खेलेगा bro. I don't care. मैं इधर ही पाला पोसा है इन लोगों ने मुझे, तो मैं खेलेगा championship. It's fine, dude. It's fine. Right. Let's move away from the Premier League for a bit. Let's go to La Liga because Barcelona are now officially champions of La Liga. Xavi getting his first league trophy as Barcelona manager. They beat bitter rivals Espanyol 4-2, which again, Espanyol just sounds like a make-believe name for a Spanish club.
It sounds like the album that a Punjabi rapper came up with where he speaks some Spanish. Espanyol.
But of course, Espanyol also a Catalan team. So bitter rivals, Barcelona, Espanyol. Barcelona beat Espanyol 4-2 and then went on to celebrate in the middle of the pitch, which was basically a ringa ringa
Yeah.
ऐसा कौन करता है bench? Like, what is this celebration? Like, did you also feel like when they were jumping around and doing the Championes, ole, 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 it just felt very muted. Like, they were like, oh, I guess we have to do this for the cameras, but we don't really feel like it.
It almost to an extent felt like they wanted to rub it in to Espanyol, where they won the title. Espanyol is very, very close to the relegation zone.
Yeah.
The 20th. Espanyol is 20th.
Yeah, so it felt like a fuck you to them.
Yeah.
It felt like we're gonna rub it in your face. And I think the real celebration obviously will happen at the new camp when they go back there.
Yeah. They did the Ringa Roses, and then the Espanyol fans had enough and they invaded the pitch and basically chased the Barcelona team off the pitch. Like, it was so funny to see them just going around in circles and then just suddenly realizing and running straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, you could hear the Barcelona players go,
Yeah. Espanyol might get relegated, but this will stay long etched in their memories for generations to come. It's like, yeah, we lost to them, but man, chappal leke bhagaya hum log ko, which is just absolutely great. Right, on that note, it is time to end this episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Conflag. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought of this episode, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Mukesh on Instagram at
Mukesh Manjunath.
You can find Aakarsh on Instagram at
Aakarsh Chandan.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Amogh.
Because his name is Yeri Kina.
That makes no sense.
Yeah,
That
I was
means-
expecting a Raghupati Raghav Rajaram call
No,
back.
oh, that's the one you were expecting.
Yeah. Neither would have made any sense, but good try. You can reach us on our group account, which is at @cornerflagpod on Instagram and Twitter. Do visit our website, thecornerflag.in. Do support us by buying us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/thecornerflag. And if you can't, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And do not forget to give us a 5-star review. Shout out to Kezat Gharda for composing our theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Mukesh.
Bye, guys.
Say bye, Aakarsh.
Bye.
And it's bye from me.